Tippy time, my damies, Tuckhead here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a wider look at our Arc Titan and its updates to its super, along with a bit of a review on the updated exotic, the Eternal Warrior. I was excited about this combo back when it was announced last season, as up until now this exotic had just been used as a bit of a swap to inside of Crucible. I tried it out at the start of the season and originally was not impressed with it. However, after talking to my mate Kels, I decided to take a second look at it. And I came to the conclusion that it's good, it's bad, and goddamn is it ugly. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll break it down how I've tackled this Titan. The Eternal Warrior has received two changes. Firstly, Arc Final Blows grant an escalating damage bonus with Arc weapons and abilities. The first tier is 10%, then 17, then 21, similar to our Surge mods, but this exotic pushes past that to a tier 4 Surge for a 25% bonus. The second change allows you to skip its escalations and jump straight to tier 4. When we pop our Fist of Havoc, go around slay a bit, and then it runs out, we instantly gain that tier 4 Surge for 10 seconds. However, as we get further kills, it's going to extend the timer out, and here lies my first issue. Whilst you're overlight and doing activities like 1770 Nightfalls and seasonal content, I found it really awesome. The tier stack up to 4 was really quick, so we could really abuse that tier 4 Surge. However, I found the second I ran activities at 15 or 20 light under, it was a lot harder to get that Surge up to tier 4. And it was definitely harder to keep it at tier 4 with enemies having such chunkier health bars. The Trinity Ghoul was no longer getting it done, so I had to rely on my LMG to find Memorial. I found that LMG was a great fit for the Eternal Warrior, as this way I had an arc weapon that could chew its way through the red bars, orange bars, champs and bosses. And I could really manage to keep that tier 4 Surge rolling over quite nicely. I tried the iterative loop. It did kill everything, and it killed it quickly, but I found myself always running out of ammo. As whilst the Surge is good, if you don't kill it in 10 seconds, the Surge is gone. Now it's going to take roughly 10 kills to get that tier 4 Surge. That's around half your reserves of a special weapon, so unless you're running a glaive or a trace rifle, I don't think running the Arc Special is the way to go. I would try and use a primary ammo energy weapon like the Centrifuge. I found this works so much better than the Trinity Ghoul in the harder content. At 15 and 20 under, the Centrifuge still had plenty of stopping power both near and far. It offers precision and AoE effects, and works brilliantly with the Season 21 artifact. It really is a Zalo 2.0. Literally days before Season 21 dropped, I was pining for my old Zalo, and the Centrifuge is more than ample at replacing it. It can handle all types of encounters, and done most of the legwork in this 1840 Nightfall. But what about updated Fist of Havoc? Its light attack cost was reduced from 8.5 to 6%, I like this. The heavy attack cost was reduced from 18% to 12%, I like this again. And the heavy attack also got a 33% buff. It also blinds, so we can stun unstoppable champions and keep larger health bar targets sitting in that wake. Now at 1770, all this is awesome. Your super can clear out rooms and can destroy mages and champs. But when you raise the stakes to 15 or 20 under, it all gets a lot harder. 15 under, you have to use a combo of ground and pounds together with the shoulder charge. At 20 under, it's the same story, and you might even need some help from your fire team to push it over the line. And for a super with a 9.5 minute cooldown, I was hoping for a little bit more. Its overshield upon the super activation sure is nice though. It does make the melee based roamer feel a lot tankier even at 20 under. I just don't feel the super was the champ slayer I was hoping for. But if you combo it with your squad, it does work well against multi-champion situations. If we debuff it with a jolt grenade, you can then take advantage of the super's roaming nature. If you're still here, you might still be interested in this build. I'll leave a dim in the description and thumb it if you liked it. If you've got any questions or suggestions, I'd love to hear from you and your opinions on this super and exotic. That said, we turn to the build. Pulse Grenade, Touch of Thunder aspect, and Spark of Shock. The Pulse Grenade currently gives us the highest damage and it escalates over time. It's also going to feed us Ionic Traces to feed us back that ability energy, and Jolt not only adds the additional damage to targets, but also the surrounding parties. This build gets him pretty quickly, so I found these more than able for stunning and destroying Overload champions. Spark of Recharge, they'll feed us both our grenade and melee energy whilst we're critically wounded. So between this, the traces, and our artifact, we should have great ability uptime to keep our helmet at tier 4 surge constantly. The knockout aspect also saw a buff inside season 21. Whilst critically wounding a target or breaking their shield, infuses your melee attacks with arc energy. This increases your melee range and damage for a short time. This uncharged PvE damage bonus was 60%, it's now 100%. Whilst this doesn't sound like a lot, it certainly feels like a lot. And by defeating targets with our melees, this will start our health regeneration and makes us amplified. This is vital for our survivability, and this also gives us better weapon handling and will also make our centrifuge even better. Spark of Feedback, when taking melee damage, our melee briefly increases in strength. And Spark of Resistance, whilst we are surrounded by combatants, we are more resistant to incoming damage. This has got a pretty wide berth and will allow you to tank quite a bit more damage, and it also works whilst we're in our super. For our stats, I'm using 100 Resilience, 80 Recovery and Discipline, and 60 Strength for some good old slap fights. Normally our super based exotics I try and push up to Intellect, but in order to keep our Surge at tier 4, I felt it more necessary to lean into our abilities to do so. Harmonic Siphon for orb production, Heavy Ammo Finder and Scout for your allies, Heavy Handed for orbs on melee kills, this works for knockout kills also, Momentum Transfer, Grenade damage gives us reduced melee cooldown, and Harmonic Loader. Damage resistance mods based on our activity, Emergency Reinforcement will allow us to tank, Elemental Charge, this is new, I love it for this build. When collecting Ionic Traces we can get an armor charge. Invigoration reduces our melee cooldown, and Recuperation gives us chunks of health each time we pick up an Orb of Power. Reaper for orbs on weapon kills after we use our thruster, and Double Stacked Bomber reduces grenade cooldown when using thruster. Our season 21 artifact, running cheaper arc mods and melee mods, Electric Armor, Thunderous Retort, Amped Up, Shock and Awe, and Lightning Strikes twice. So, in conclusion, is the Eternal Warrior any good? Seasonal activities and other easier content like Gambit and our 1770 Nightfalls, it's a real gem. With the best weapons at our disposal, it can even be good in 15 and 20 light under activities. But honestly, I think the Synthoceps might be just as good as an option for the Fist of Havoc. They increase the super damage significantly and actually make the super quite good against champs. Let me know what you guys think, because I'm still on the fence with this one. It's good, it's bad, and it's still really ugly. And until next time, tippy time my damies, what a tie.